Hey everyone, we're going to go over today how strength training is a means, not an end, and specifically how this applies to team sport athletes. So again, this conversation is not going to be specific to athletes that are strictly power lifters, CrossFitters, Olympic weightlifting. Those are not going to be included into this. This is going to be strictly for team sport athletes, basketball, baseball, football, soccer, anything like that. So what do I mean by strength training is a means, not an end? A lot of times, especially in the high school or collegiate athletes, a lot of essentially players are told, hey, if you just get strong in the gym, everything else is going to fall into place on the field in terms of speed, power, and just sport performance in general. While for someone that has no training age, this is going to be a positive outcome, meaning that any time they touch a weight, essentially, they're going to get stronger, which is going to have a positive impact on their performance and other qualities, such as speed, power, because you need strength. You need a foundation of strength to be able to have a decent power output that you can then apply to your overall total skill and athleticism. But one of the problems I see in this case is that eventually guys get to a point in their career, again, this is mainly for kind of like high school, collegiate, and maybe even past that, but where they just think if I just lift heavy all the time, I'm going to keep getting stronger, I'm going to keep getting faster, and that's just going to then allow me to be better at my sport. From my experience, what I found is, to a certain degree, strength training turns into a point where is more better, and I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Where some guys might just get so strong where yes, they're crushing it in the gym, they're killing it, whatnot. But when you put them out in the field, let's just talk about football for example. It's let's say you have a wide receiver and they can squat two times their body weight, but they're one of the slowest guys coming off the line. They can't execute on the field the way that they need to. So this then brings in the conversation of, is strength training all that it needs to be? And for me, strength training is one element of a good sound training program more than anything. So that's going to include some type of speed training, true speed training, not ladder drills or a ton of quote unquote sport specific agility drills, like true linear speed training with some agility and change of direction work mixed in there, whether that's from a high speed standpoint or part of a tempo session, explosive medicine ball throws or jumps from a power development, strength training, and then any type of aerobic work, which is going to be more of the more tempo work more than anything. We're not going to get too much into that right now, of the common pitfalls that I think are out there for aerobic training in a lot of team sports, but those are generally those four things. So again, sprinting from true speed work standpoint, explosive medicine ball throws and jumps, and weightlifting. When we only have weightlifting in there, we're leaving the power and speed development components not touched, because heavy lifting is done at a slow rate because of the weights that are used. So again, in this case, what I really want to stress more than anything is, again, strength is a means. You have to have a certain level of strength to then allow you to be able to express power and speed that can then allow you to be a better athlete. It does not mean by any means that if you're stronger in the gym, you are going to be the best athlete on the field. If anything, by you being stronger in the gym and doing true speed development and true power development work, those will allow you and provide you with the opportunity to then express your athleticism in a better way. It also doesn't mean that you do all three of those perfectly, that you are going to be the best on the field. Like, it's, for a lot of guys, some guys, unfortunately, it comes a little bit more naturally too, but you do need those elements in place to then allow you to express your athleticism to a different degree. So what I really want to make sure we're getting, the main takeaway from this is, strength training is one of several things that need to be trained. Again, there's strength training, explosive medicine ball throws and jumps, speed training, and tempo work. If you have all four of those in place, you're going to be putting yourself in a very good position to then allow for your athleticism to develop in terms of the sport-specific skill. The last thing I will say on strength training is that strength training really is general at the end of the day. A lot of people will say, oh, well, we have this sport-specific weight training, we have these specific lifts or whatever's out there. There's a ton out there that you can find that's really just not applicable, in my opinion. Strength training is general. Keep it simple, focus on gradual overload or progression, in whether it's going from an accumulation right into a max strength block, then to a deload. Like that, honestly, that's a simple structure that I follow. And then depending on the time of year, you're gonna have some GPP work in there. But strength training is general. You can get into the side of, oh, well, we need to do a lot of heavy weight work and split positions, this and that. And I'm not saying those aren't beneficial, but you can keep things as simple as some type of, from a lower body standpoint, some type of squat, some type of pull, and then for an upper body standpoint, some type of press, some type of pull. And then you trickle in your auxiliary work with that. So it really does not need to be as complicated as it is made out to be. You look at things that are done 40, 50 years ago, they were simple. It was not a lot of this very sports specific, quote unquote sports specific. I put that in quotes because I don't really believe in sports specific lifting. There's just lifting is lifting at the end of the day. So those are some of the main takeaways from this video that I hope that you guys can take and apply to your training to help you develop those qualities better, and then allow you to put yourself in a position to better perform on the field.